Hi everyone, it's Cards by Rachel for the Stamp Set, another card making tutorial using the TheSassyClub products. I'm gonna use the Kachow Stamp Set and this box card die. I've got two of the large background pieces, one of the stitched background piece, three of the borders, one of the big border, and then the stitch inside decorative pieces. I've also got some grassy borders, stitch borders, and a cacti border to go in on those panels basically at the same size. So I just measured them and cut them out of some white paper. Here we are gonna start with our stitch background piece. So that's the second background piece, the biggest one. Will give you that like layer on the side. And I'm just gonna use my Tim Holtz Moon Mask dice to create a nighttime scene. I'm using salvaged patina, peacock feathers, and I thought I grabbed Uncharted Mariner, but grabbed the wrong one. But we're gonna use Uncharted Mariner as our third one. And I'm starting with using that selfish patina around the moon because like the moon will give off light obviously, so I like that to be my lightest color. Then I'm just gonna go with peacock feathers after that and then the Uncharted Mariner. You will not see that much of the background, especially on photos. Like in real life you can really see our nighttime scene, our moon, and we'll actually attach that cacti border to the back as well to make it more of a desert scene, also with some sand we're gonna use on those inside pieces, those border pieces. But yeah, on the picture it's hard to show off the full box card, I suppose, but in real life and on the video as well, I think you can see it's nice and well actually. And I always love a nighttime scene. I haven't done one in a while, so I was like, yeah, let's do it nighttime instead of daytime. Also because I really love this moon stencil. Here I'm just using what's left over on my selfish patina brush to give the moon a bit of color. Like I don't want much color on it, but I don't want it to be white. Then I am going to re-ink my brush and apply that selfish patina in the second stencil and just blend it out because I don't like the really hard edges on it. Then we can go back and cover our moon up again. And I'm going to use the Lisa Horton Solid Gold ink, metallic ink, to put on some stars. I'm using the Starry Sky background stencil from Lanvin, but a lot of brands have stars as stencils, so you might have another one that works really well. Here you can see me checking, and I want it to be a bit more gold, so I'm just gonna reapply it. And there you can see those nice stars in our nighttime scene. Now it's time to ink up our panels that we made. I'm doing most of them sand, like 3 of them. For the cacti is the biggest one because it will go on our background panel. I wasn't sure yet how high I wanted it to be, so I just got it a bit larger. And I'm using the Distressed Oxide tea dye and Vintage Photo for this. It's my favorite color combo for sand, so of course I used it here as well. And I must say, this box tie, I have one from another brand as well, but I really like this back panel. I mentioned it in my last video, and I just think the shape is really cool. So instead of it being fully round or oval, you know, it just has this playful edge to it. Here I'm using weathered wood and hickory smoke to make like the pavement for our cars here. I end up using one of them, I believe. But that's okay. I'll just keep my second panel. Here I decided, since we did a nighttime scene, I wasn't liking the white. So I decided to make this biggest background panel black on the back. And also we'll do that with our like pop-up mechanisms, the borders. I'm just going to call them borders for now, on both sides. So if I would have thought of this before like assembling, then I would have just got those pieces out of black cardstock, but I didn't want my white ones to go to waste, so I just inked them. And now we can attach that stitch background panel to our bigger black panel. I really wanted to focus on assembling the box card die for this video, so I did color everything off screen, the cacti border, but also the cars, stamped images. So we'll do a bit more of a close-up on how to assemble and put together these type of cards. Now you can see me attaching that panel to the background. I decided to let it continue onto the black, but you could obviously also use that stitched panel and make it go through there if you just use the die through there and then cut your border. But I thought it would be fun to have a bit of overlap there. Some of the cacti overlapped a bit on our background panel, so I'm just gonna cut them down with some scissors. I like that with box cards because it can make them more difficult to send in a regular sized envelope otherwise. Here I have that biggest panel die, and it makes some fold lines. The dice does that, so you can see the fold lines and just, make sure you burnish them with your bone folder and you will be good to go. Now, normally people attach it like at the front and this tab, but I always like to do them at the back so you cannot see them from the front, and then just cover your back up with an extra wide panel. Obviously, I also do it at the front, but I think it's much nicer to sort of hide that little tab and just place them on the back. So I've attached some double-sided adhesive. Make sure you do it on the right side. So you can fold them like on the back side of your box card. There we go. Also attach some glue for some little wiggle room and extra secure placement. I'm using my Trinity stamps picking tool to get rid of those backings of the double-sided paper. It also has a wax tip, and I really love the diamonds in the middle of it. So and here you can see me just folding it both ways to make sure that it will fold flat nicely. And if it's a bit rough, it doesn't want to go, you can always move it, basically put it flat and then use your bone folder to make sure it moves both ways. And now I'm also gonna adhere my double-sided adhesive to those three tabs from the borders, the pop-up elements basically. I end up using 2, I believe. I'm not sure anymore, we will see. But here we have those panels I got, and I'm just gonna glue them on those borders. I made sure they are the same size, so just measure it with your ruler, and don't when you measure the tabs where the adhesive is on doesn't count, because that will be folded. So just measure the size between the two score lines basically. And here I'm just attaching my asphalt, my road there, and what is too high I'll just cut down with my scissors. But when I make these borders, I feel like it's much easier to make them a little bit bigger and just cut them down, because then you can really play with the heights. Basically the same as what I did with that cacti border in the back. Sometimes when you inked up the rest or you have your colored images, it's much easier to see how high you want something to go. And I also attached the one with the sand there. And now I'm just going to do my third one with the road/asphalt thing. And I will put that one in the most in the back, basically, because we have our desert in the back. I kind of want them to go road, desert, road, desert, Oh, here I'm just attaching the left panel first. You could do right, but I removed that adhesive, put some glue, and then just made sure it was straight, and then you can just fold it down and attach that other side. And again, I'm always making sure I can keep folding the most cards to the left and the right. Here I'm doing that as well. I'm just removing both adhesives here. Just attach that left side first, and then just lay it flat and make sure the right side is also secure. Also a plus side about using double-sided tape, because it sticks more, it sticks faster. And here you can see me putting aside that other asphalt one. Yeah, I decided 2 was enough for this card because the images are a bit bigger. Sometimes when you have smaller images, it is nice to have 3 of them. I always just kind of divide them up the same amount of space between them, I would say. So not fully attached to your background piece, not fully attached to that front bigger piece. Just have some space between them. If I do 3, then it's a bit more tight, of course, but just making sure it's the same amount of space between all of the panels. Now it's actually time to start adhering our cute images here. And I just use a little bit of liquid glue, and once I placed it, I just fold my card shut, basically flat, so you can have a bit more pressure to make sure they're nice and secure. I'm just fiddling around with the placement of things a bit, as you can see. This box card die is not a die we have in stock at the moment from the Sassy Club. But as always, you can always let us know if you would like to have it, and then we can always order it for you. Of course, that's no problem. It's just one of my favorite interactive dies from the Sassy Club. And I thought it would be very nice to make a desert scene, since I haven't used this die in a while. You guys know how it goes, right? Like, they come out with so many new, cute, amazing stuff. So sometimes you forget about the older stuff you already have, and I try to incorporate some older stuff as well in my cards, because I got them because I really loved it, so I don't want to forget to use them. I decided to do the stitch detail panels in orange, yellow, and red, I believe. I'm using carved pumpkin, mustard seed for the yellow, and candied apple for the red. I thought it would give it a nice colorful touch to use them like that. I did a big red card, actually totally at the front, so not at the panel we placed inside, but the front panel, the black piece. Just because I thought it would look better there, but normally or usually I do like to stamp a sentiment on this detailed stitched banner, but yeah, this time I will do the sentiment on the back. But it is a nice spot for a sentiment as well. And you could use just these stitched panels as a detail or stamp some images on it. In my case, this time I went for my colored images on the side as well, as we will see in a moment. So I hope this also shows that the box cards do look a bit intimidating when they are finished. But it's actually really an easy interactive card to make. Especially since the die makes all the score lines and stuff. It kind of explains itself, I feel. So yeah, maybe that helps you guys as well to actually try one of these interactive cards if you're a bit intimidated by interactive cards. I hear people say that, and especially for this type of interactive card, I don't feel like it's needed. It looks intimidating, yes, but it's actually really easy. Here you can see that other second white background panel that I did to cover up those black tabs like we talked about earlier. And I'm just going to stamp Kachow, Ready, Set, Celebrate, and the other cute car on the back. It doesn't leave much space to write your message. If you want more space, you could leave off a sentiment or the card, but I just felt like it would be a nice touch to add it on the back. Here you can see we are also going over the black tabs and just cover it up like that. And, it just helps to make it look a little bit more neat than when they would have been at the front, I feel. And that's our cute box card ready to go. Here you can see a bit of a close-up on a video with some, so you can also see the inside and, everything come together basically. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions about this box card, please let me know. I thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And I wish you all a very crafty day. Bye!